Hey, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be showing you how to cut some of your favorite glass used soda bottles and turn them into something that you could put a small plant in. So for the video, you're going to need a glass cutter, some gloves. These gloves actually came with my glass cutter. However, I trust these a little bit more with my hands. Make sure you're getting something that you strongly feel is puncture resistant and is going to protect your skin, because you will be putting pressure on the glass. On top of that, you're going to want some eye pro, in case you shatter the glass, you don't want it getting into your eye. A lighter to light the candle. I've seen people use a tea light, but I haven't had much success with this. So I'm going to be using a normal candle, bottle obviously, and you're going to need some sandpaper. I'm using P60 grit. You're going to want some rough stuff so that you can sand the glass once you cut it and make sure you don't cut yourself later on. And you're going to want a small bin of ice so that you can cool the glass and heat stress it into fracturing. Alright, so here I am. I'm in my garage now with the bottle. You can see that I picked a surface that was not hard because you don't want to really, push and miss and crack the bottle, but you also want something that's soft. So I picked my nice cement garage floor here with a mat on top of it. So yeah, anyway, you're going to get your glasses on, and you're going to mock up your bottle on the glass cutter. So you're going to make sure that the scoring edge of the glass cutter is on a portion of the bottle that's not embossed. So you see like this embossed line right here, you're really not going to want to cut on that line because you're not going to get a nice clean even break. So you're going to want to adjust the height of the bottle cutter, not using the bottle of course, such that you're on a nice perfectly round surface. And you're going to actually make sure that your blade for the glass cutter is actually making good contact with the glass, the scoring edge. You're going to put your gloves on because you will be applying a good amount of pressure to the glass and you don't want to break it into your hand. You're just going to apply a really good amount of pressure to the glass, and you're going to rotate the glass forward in a circle. You're not going to want to move the glass side to side at all because you really want to have a nice, clean, perfect circle. You can see that there are no edges that aren't matching up. You're just going to keep rotating this until you have a nice, good scored edge with a nice deep score, which will be perfect for causing it to heat fracture. Next, you're going to want to light your candle and let that heat up for a second so that you can heat your glass over it. You're going to don your gloves one more time here, and you're going to rotate your scored edge over the flame so that you can cause an uneven heating of the bottle, which is going to cause a lot of stress on that one area that we scored. And one of the reasons it's very important to do things like this with glass is that, especially in the Long Island area, is that Brookhaven town, which is one of our biggest waste distributors on the island, has stopped accepting glass as a recyclable material. And on top of that, they actually switched their recycling from single stream to dual stream, which they had the intention of creating a more pure feedstock of recyclable material. But what ended up happening is that a lot of people just don't end up recycling this material, and it's a shame. So if you can find uses for these things at your home, that's a beautiful thing, and that you can use these materials for projects and have given new life to previously wasted material. Next, you're going to take an ice cube and you're going to apply the ice cube along the scored edge which we just heated up. And you'll see the ice cube melting, which I did a poor job of capturing here. But the ice cube is going to melt that scored edge. And you're not going to want to tug on it or bang it because that's going to be a lot more dangerous than it's going to be useful. So if it doesn't come apart with a light tug, you're just going to have to dry it off and repeat the process. So you're going to put that right back over the flame and rotate it. having to do this a few times now, so I'm now applying the ice the third time, and boom, comes right apart. With a small tug, and you can see that it's a pretty clean cut. So you're going to put your candle out, put that safely to the side, dispose safely of your upper half of your glass container. Now you can take off your gloves a little bit. And now comes the most intensive and fun part. So you're now going to be careful, and you're going to try to sand down that sharp edge, just so you can be sure that you're not going to cut yourself on the glass. Now you want to sand, if possible, using two hands. You don't really want to put the sandpaper on the ground, because that lip is going to end up catching something on the ground, especially if it's a harder surface, and you will break the glass, and it's going to be a little more dangerous than you probably bargained for. So you're just going to sand back and forth until that edge is nice and clean. And you'll know that it's clean when you start to get a frosted appearance on the edge of the glass rather than a more clear appearance. And one more look at that beautiful glass product there, and we're going to give you over to Miranda.
Hi, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to create your own upcycled succulent. This is a great project to do with Earth Day coming up and Mother's Day if you're looking for a gift. And upcycle projects are a creative way to get rid of some of the waste that end up in our landfills and our oceans. So for this project, all you're going to need is some rocks for drainage. If you don't have the time to go to the store and get some gravel or pebbles, you can go ahead and go in your yard and collect some rocks. So I already put mine at the bottom of my jar here. And then you're also going to need some potting soil, a succulent of your choice. I'm going to be using the Golden Glow Stone Crop, and then your jar. So I'm using an old salsa jar. I already soaked off the label, but you could also use pasta jars, yogurt containers, and then if you have a glass cutter, you can go ahead and watch Adam's tutorial, and you can use some old soda bottles too. And then if you want to decorate it a little bit, you can use some paint and some twine, so I have that stuff here. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and start off by painting my jar. I'm going to be using this blue color. Succulents are a great plant for beginners because they're so low maintenance. They just need to be put in the sunlight, and you just need to water them about every week and a half or so. They don't flourish on wet soil, so you don't want to overwater your succulent, so just be careful of that. They also provide a lot of health benefits on top of their easy maintenance. So plants can get rid of 87% of the pollutants given off by rugs, cigarettes, books, and ink. And it also can help minimize flu-like symptoms. It helps with dry skin because 10% of the moisture in the air is given off by plants. And it also helps with sore throats. So it's definitely a good thing to keep in your rooms, in your bedrooms, to have fresher air. So I'm just gonna finish painting and I'll come back. So when my jar finished drying, I kept the rocks about halfway, and then I put the potting soil in. I didn't film that because it was kind of messy, but so I put in a little layer of potting soil, and then I did transplant the succulent in, and then I filled in the rest of the corners with the potting soil, and then I just tied a little twine around it. So this is the finished product. But I just wanted to talk about the plastic pot that the succulent comes in. If you're not able to reuse these yourselves, whether you want to shake out some grass seeds through it since there are holes at the bottom, a lot of places do take these back and use them again. So if you want to bring it to maybe Home Depot or Lowe's, usually they'll take them back and use them again. So just to get rid of some more plastic waste. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the tutorial and have a happy Earth Day.